You're listening to the Craft Messages That Matter podcast. I'm your host, Theo Capodistrius. Grab a coffee, sit back, and enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Craft Messages That Matter podcast. I'm Theo and I am so happy that you're here for another episode. I really appreciate everyone that tunes in week after week to listen to me talk about all things communication, public speaking, and presentations. But today we're going to talk about a little passion project of mine, TEDx Hobart. And for those that follow the show because they know who I am, or if they're brand new and have no idea about anything that I do, yes, I run TEDx Hobart and I work with a really amazing committee on making it happen. And in this space, I do the event stuff. But my main role and my main love is that of the curator, deciding which ideas should be heard on stage, in what order, and why, basically. TED Talks have become a global phenomenon with millions of people tuning in to watch these thought-provoking talks worldwide. But what sets a good TED Talk apart? What makes a TED Talk or a TEDx talk worthy for the stage and worthy of tuning into? And that's what we're talking about in today's episode. A good TED Talk should start with a compelling idea that is relevant and timely. The idea should be unique and have the potential to spark conversation and make a positive impact. The TED model is an idea worth spreading. And an idea is different to a topic. And I talk more about this in season 1. But to do a quick recap, an idea is something which isn't a generic topic. It's not something you'd normally hear at a conference, but it's something that's innovative, or a new take on a concept that we already understand, or a changed perspective on something that is known, or something completely innovative and new like a scientific discovery. The speaker should be able to articulate this idea in a clear and concise manner, making it easy for the audience to understand and relate to. And this comes back to understanding the key message that you're trying to share. And I'm going to come back to this concept in a future episode of the podcast, so be sure to tune in for that. The next important aspect of a good TED Talk is the way it's delivered. The speaker needs to be engaging, confident, charismatic, but also their authentic self. I know I talk about this quite a lot, but if you're not authentically you on stage, you're going to lose the audience. They're not going to want to listen to you. They're not going to pay attention because they can smell a rat. When you get training and learn how to present on stage, you will alter some of the things that you do for stage presence purposes. And when you're speaking in a TEDx talk, you'll probably change how you'd ordinarily talk because you are presenting to a different kind of audience. And that's okay. In a TEDx talk or a TED talk, the speaker should be able to capture the audience's attention and hold it throughout their talk. This can be achieved through, the effective use of body language, tone, storytelling. You should be able to connect with the audience on a personal level, sharing those stories and experiences that they can relate to, that they can understand, that makes them visualize what you're talking about. I've created a free download called the Ultimate Presentation Structure Guide, which would assist you to formulate the way you formulate a talk and touches on many of the things that we've discussed above. Another important aspect of a good TED Talk is the use of visuals. The speaker should be able to use visuals such as images, videos, or graphs to enhance their message. These visuals should be simple and easy to understand and should be able to complement the speaker's message. The use of visuals can help the audience to understand a complex concept such as data, or making the talk a little more engaging and memorable because they've got that visual they can hold on to. The next thing is a good TED Talk should be well rehearsed. Now I know that the TEDx speakers I've worked with put in hundreds of hours to ensure that their talk was ready for the stage. The speaker should have a clear idea of their talk. They should know their material inside and out. They should be able to deliver the talk without relying on notes. And of course, in an event like a TED or a TEDx event, there will be stumbles. People will forget their lines, and that's okay. There are people there to support them. There are people there to be a prompt if they need. But it is so much better to be able to feel confident and know everything that you're going to say. And whether that's relying on a script or whether that's actually just understanding your topic really well and you've got a set structure in mind, that's going to help too. And this is something else that we're going to talk about in a future episode, whether to rely on a script or whether to have a structure in place that works. Ultimately, being able to present well and present a talk that is appealing to people and well rehearsed can be achieved through the careful preparation and practice, allowing the speaker to feel confident and comfortable during their presentation. Finally, a good TED Talk should have a clear call to action. The speaker should inspire their audience to take action, whether it's to make a change in their own lives or to contribute to a larger picture, a larger cause. This can be achieved through providing practical advice, sharing an inspiring story, or highlighting an important issue that needs to be addressed. The call to action should be clear and specific, making it easy for the audience to take action. So, there you have it. The key elements of a good TED Talk: a compelling idea, an engaging delivery, effective use of visuals, well-rehearsed delivery, and a clear call to action. By focusing on these elements, you'll be able to create a talk that's engaging, informative, and inspiring. Do you have a favorite TED Talk? Why don't you let me know? I'd love to hear from you. And if you like this episode, please follow or subscribe and give it a rating. Give it a 5 out of 5. We love that, particularly as I'm in the early stages of the pod. To learn more about what I do as a speaker, a trainer, an MC, and a public speaking, communications and presentation coach, head to my website, www.theocap.com.au. Follow the Craft Messages That Matter Instagram page at CMTM_podcast. And of course, follow my personal Instagram page at TheoCap